Hello folks, my name is Tommy G and today I'm in Dearborn, Michigan, the most Muslim place in America. So if I'm gonna tell you hello, I gotta tell you, salam. When you drive around Dearborn, Michigan, the swirl of Arabic letters fill the air. 150,000 Arab Americans call this place home, and it has the largest mosque in the United States. This video was going to be released in Ramadan of 2024, but given the troubling events that are unfolding in the Middle East, I thought this would be a critical time to release this video. You see, we fear what we do not understand, and many Americans do not understand Islam. Is this a religion of radical behavior and acts of terror? Or is this a religion that produces some of the most generous people on the planet, people who are kind and have conservative values? That is for you to decide. Join me as I take you to Dearborn, Michigan, the most Muslim place in America. So folks, we are going to the most Muslim city in America, Dearborn, Michigan, and we're here during a special time, Ramadan. The Muslims have kind of been thrown into that mix where they're a little bit misunderstood or people don't know their intentions, and to be honest, if you're not a Muslim, who's read that book? I know I haven't, so how much could you really know about them until you've studied what they do? Not a drop of water, not a bite of food, and you can only break your fast at the sundown or before sun up. It's a very disciplined practice that I have a lot of respect for. First, we meet our contact, Ahmad, who's going to be taking us on this beautiful journey. Stay tuned.
Hello in Arabic is salam.
Salam.
Salam, exactly. Arabic is salam.
Salam.
Salam, exactly. Short for assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
You're a natural, let's go.
I'm fluent already, huh?
Welcome to Dearborn in Islam. Ramadan is an Islamic month. For fasting, it's one of the pillars of Islam. We have 5 pillars. The reason why we fast is so we can remember God's blessings, so we could think about all the blessings we have. We worship Him more during the day. And right now, I'm so thirsty, but God wants to test my patience. Am I gonna give up? So this month really helps us learn patience.
29 or 31 days.
This year, 29 days. Now, there are exceptions. If you're sick, you're not supposed to fast. If you're an elderly, you don't fast. If you're a child, you don't fast. If a girl's on her period, she doesn't fast.
How old does a kid have to be to make the...
Once they hit puberty, mostly 13 and older.
When you learn to discipline yourself to pray 5 times a day, you discipline yourself not to drink, you discipline yourself not to eat, there's nothing that you can't discipline yourself to do. So there's halal and haram for the food that we eat. Halal food is food that is butchered in Islamic manner. So haram is anything not permissible, anything that's a sin, anything bad. Halal is anything acceptable, permissible, good.
What are some vocabulary words I'm going to need to learn from my experience today?
Taqwa. Taqwa is to get to a level where you love God, you fear God, and you are able to control yourself because of the extent that you have appreciation after the appreciation of Allah, God. That by itself prepare you to the rest of the year.
It seems across most religions that fasting is a tool to get closer to God. Jesus was in the desert for 40 nights. Muslims have the Ramadan. Native Americans would go on a vision quest in the woods without food. Buddha fasted under a tree for many years. Why is fasting such an important way to speak to God? And why do we have to go hungry to be able to talk to this guy?
Just try it and you'll know. The things you thought they're important, all this material life or this competition you have in life, they become something minimal in your life.
Was it hard to be a Muslim in America after September 11th? We went into a made-up war. I think we're all finding out after the fact that a lot of the information we had was wrong, and we got propaganda from our government, and we went in and we made demons out of a lot of people that had nothing to do with anything. Let me clarify that strong statement I said about fake wars. After 9/11, we decided to invade Iraq under the pretense of Iraq having weapons of mass destruction, when there was no strong evidence of such.
Bottom line, there were no weapons of mass destruction. Going into Iraq may have been the worst decision any president has made in the history of this country. That's how bad it is.
Dick Cheney, before becoming vice president, was the CEO of Halliburton. one of the world's largest oil service companies. He became vice president under George Bush, and when our government decided to invade Iraq, Halliburton was awarded a $7 billion non-compete contract to operate Iraqi oil wells. Perhaps a slight conflict of interest here. Conservative estimates state that 300,000 Iraqi civilians lost their life in this war, and American taxpayers footed the bill at a tune of $757 billion. No weapons of mass destruction were found, which led to this soldier confronting George Bush.
Mr. Bush, when are you going to apologize for the million Iraqis that are dead because you lied? You lied about weapons of mass destruction. You lied about connections to 9/11. You lied about Iraq being a threat. You sent me to Iraq. You sent me to Iraq in 2003. My friends are dead. You killed people. You lied about WMD. A million Iraqis are dead because you lied.
And this is just one war, not to mention the questionable wars we had in Syria, Libya, and Afghanistan. Back to the video.
It was hard, particularly for our sisters. When they wear hijab and they come out, they know they're Muslims.
Walk us through a story of discrimination in America simply because of being a Muslim.
I think you could just go to the airport and experience it and take a look.
What is it like being a teenage Muslim girl in America?
The best thing ever. Like, people are like, oh, like, don't you get stared at and stuff. People look at me, but honestly, when people look at me, it's like the best thing ever. I'm like, yeah, I'm different.
A criticism that people might have of Islam is that women are oppressed. And I know we have a few women in the room. Do you feel you're oppressed as a Muslim woman?
No. Like, I feel like God has certain rules for a reason. For example, God wants me to dress modestly for a reason.
It doesn't let people look at my body, mostly my character. I feel protected, and it just makes us closer to God, and it makes, like, you know, people not to fall in love with beauty, the beauty of character.
To keep our minds pure is a good thing.
Islam promotes the preservation of the family unit. Very important. So in a family unit, obviously there's individuals and they have roles to play.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Good. Who is fasting right now?
In their age, like the boys that are not supposed to.
The people that did fast, what made you decide to do that challenge?
Do it for God. When you turn 9 years old, you have to fast, and I'm 10 years old.
What's happening tonight when the sun goes down? Can someone tell me about that?
You eat like good food.
Do you think doing this makes you stronger as a person?
Yes.
What I've learned in life is that by doing tough things, you become tough yourself, and it's a tough world, so it's important to be tough. Would you guys agree with that? This is called the wudu.
Wudu, exactly. Yep.
The first thing you want to do is take your shoes and socks off. You say, Anwi an atawadda'u kurbatan ila Allahi ta'ala.
Kurbatan
Ila Lahi ta'ala. Take your right hand, fill it with some water, and then go across your face. Start from the top, and then go down. Yep, just like that. Get all as much as you can across your face. Then you take your right hand again, put it in your left hand, and then start from your elbow and just swipe down, all the way down, just like that. And then you take your right hand again, and then you go down, and you swipe all the way down. We're done with the water. So you just come like this, you take from here, and you go down. From here to up.
You are now in the spiritual state of wudu. During the prayer, we have to prostrate on natural surfaces, not, artificial carpet. So this is just mud that's been hardened. We prostrate on a natural surface.
So after you're done with prayer, what do you do?
And then we start the next prayer.
So we just finished the noon prayer.
Yep.
So the next one is the afternoon prayer.
Ramadan is a time of feasting, and to feast, a Muslim must eat their food in a religiously pure way. This butcher explains the process.
I guess he doesn't do it here live, but what we can do is he said he can walk you through the process and show you what he does. I guess a bit better than nothing, right?
Salam.
ياخذ الخروف first thing يعني تحطها اتجاه القبلة.
From this point on earth in Michigan or in the United States in general, Mecca is going to be north.
تأخذ الذبيحة تقول بسم الله. الذبيحة إذا ما ذكر عليها اسم الله للمسلمين.
What do you think happens to you when you die?
first thing when you go to the grave, you will come Malakan,
Two angels.
two angels. They will ask you, من ربك, من نبيك, ما هو دينك, ما هو كتابك.
And if you answer those questions
It's hard
correctly,
to answer. If you didn't do it in this life, when you wasn't alive, you can't take it. Follow what Allah He said in the Quran, you will answer.
Islam is really a continuation of all of the divine prophets and teachings that came in the past. We're on the same path of doing good and belief in God that Abraham and Moses and Jesus and all of the biblical prophets had, and Islam is just that version of that for our times.
That's a gift from my store.
thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that guy's hospitality. Thank you, sir.
Organic honey.
Thank you.
Welcome anytime.
In our tradition, dates are eaten at iftar time, and they're very much eaten in Ramadan and even other times besides Ramadan.
You see, it's gonna be more of like stuff versus food.
So on the right is the Kaaba, Mecca.
So I think in Christianity, there's a lot of images of, or like portraits of Jesus, for example, or his family.
This is an important one to cover.
This is important. Yeah. In Islam, we don't have pictures of our prophets or religious figures.
Pictures of Allah and Muhammad are forbidden.
Forbidden, yeah. You
Are they
can't.
is that punishable by death?
I don't know about that. It's something that's not tolerated.
Any drawings or depiction of Allah or the Prophet Muhammad is extremely taboo in the Muslim world. An example of this is when French teacher Samuel Paty was beheaded in France after he showed his students controversial cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad in a class he was teaching about free speech.
It means there's no God but God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. It's the Arabic calligraphy that's kind of shaped.
And that phrase you just said is one of the most common phrases repeated in Islam, right?
Yes.
Olive oil here is pretty big. We import, at least our families, import it straight from Lebanon in these containers here. They run about something like that. You got the mini croissants, everything Arabic.
Fun big sandwich goes on here.
You gotta tear it off into pieces.
A bunch of these my mom made tonight for us for iftar as well. So this is more of your fried section here. You have fried falafel, chicken, fish.
We went back to the Airbnb to take a couple-hour nap. I got dry lips, a dry mouth, a hungry stomach. I hope this table is piled high with hummus. How are you feeling, Miguel?
I feel okay. I'm not that hungry for some reason.
How are you, Tommy?
How are you?
My name is Ahmed.
Salam, salam.
Salam alaikum.
This is falafel.
So this is beef, that's chicken. This is
Fried kibbeh.
fried kibbeh. So these are grape leaves and they're stuffed with rice and beef. These are cabbage stuffed with rice and beef, same concept. And these are also beef stuffed with beef. You'll see when you open it. It's pretty good. And this side is the hummus too that you're asking about.
Yeah.
Right here.
And that's tabbouleh, right?
Yes, that's tabbouleh, that's fattoush, if you heard of fattoush. This is baba ganoush, hummus. We have two types of soup, lentil soup and vegetable soup.
What's with the symbology of this moon?
Muslims go by the lunar calendar. We are in the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is actually the name of the month.
Go on.
اللهم لك صمنا وعلى رزقك أفطرنا فتقبل منا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Welcome guys, everybody. Help yourself.
So that was a good quick short prayer that we say before we eat and we're ready to break our fast.
The first bite. Wait, is the sun down? Did everyone?
Oh yeah, it's officially down.
Okay, good. So everyone that goes on the pilgrimage gets the nickname Hajj.
Typically those who go, they'll be called Hajj or Haji.
And Haji is for the?
Females.
And how many of you have been on the pilgrimage?
Too young. You have to be like committed.
How old is the average person when they go?
Typically 40s, 50s. I went to age 20.
You were a serious young man.
Yeah, I was like the youngest person there.
So I imagine your family parties always go well because there's not anyone drinking too much alcohol.
Zero.
So I feel like if you look at why fights start, or most of the time it's alcohol is involved. And so if you avoid alcohol, you avoid a lot of trouble in your life.
Yeah.
You did a fantastic job, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is it true that in this community it's really important to have a nice beard?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily important, but most Muslim men, you know, grow beards.
Am I looked at as still like a boy because I don't have a beard?
I wouldn't really say that.
Are you optimistic about your future? Do you think we're headed in a good direction or a bad direction?
The fate is all on you. Whatever you do or whatever you choose to do, it determines your fate in a later future. And you will get in a better place.
We gotta get this kid on a loudspeaker in Milwaukee. Would you say you're happy?
Yeah. The key to happiness is when you have people that you enjoy or people that make your life brighter. Happiness can also be fun, doing things that you like.
What year will you turn 35?
2048. Not a year.
All right, so 2048, are you gonna run for office and help save the country?
I don't think that's where I want to be headed.
What do you want to be when you grow up? We'll start right to left.
I want to be a doctor. I want to be a housewife.
Okay.
Maybe like a surgeon. I want the finer things in life, so I'm gonna be a neurosurgeon. I want to be either a cardiologist or an orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the one you want to try first. Adani tea. That hits, right?
That's straight Boston.
It like warms the whole, man. You know what I mean?
Cream cheese, bread, and honey on the top. Best.
Let's see it, Tommy. Oh,
No, solid 8.5.
wow, that's up there.
How we gained 20 pounds in Dearborn, Michigan, dude.
So we're gonna enter the prayer room. There's Sheikh is giving a lecture in English, and we're about to listen in on what's going on.
Rebellious, audacious with God Almighty.
We had a Christian church right here. We have the biggest mosque in North America right here. And it's a good representation that we can live in harmony. I think it's the media, dude. It comes back to Republican, Democrat, Christian, Muslim, white, black. It's all nonsense.
In Dearborn, as you can see, we literally live side by side. Never had any problems.
Have a lot of the same values.
Core values are all there. Just be a good person. That's all it is.
Folks, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in this country, and it's time for us to band together and rise up. The people that write the narratives aren't going to be in charge much longer. We write the narratives.
Absolutely.
So Ahmad, my impression of Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan is this. People that are very hardworking, people that are disciplined, people that are very generous, very educated, family motivated. Have I forgotten anything?
I would say you caught it on point, man. That's the core of what we've got here. Just hardworking, honest, good people is the goal Islam tries to spread. So I hope when you guys watch this and you understand this is the majority of America here. This is what we represent. Any extremists or people who are not like this, please understand that's the minority.
To me, this is an American that I'd want to raise a family next door to and have my kids next door to. So I've had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Hey, we'll see you guys next week, and
salam.
Salam. Folks, as of releasing this video, there's a lot going on in the world right now. It feels like World War III is about to happen in the Middle East. And this is the time for reasonable Muslims and Jews and Christians and just people of this world to come together and think about ways that we can love each other and have peace. Which might sound naive to say, but I hope it's true. We'll see you guys next week. Folks, hope you enjoyed this episode. You want to watch another? Here. You want to subscribe? Over here. See you next week.